Hello, hello, Billy.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening. How are you today?
Well, good.
Good?
And you?
Great. Just that
Okay.
today is pretty hot. The weather here
Really?
is hot. Yes.
Mm,
What about in Cojute? You said that you live, right?
No, in San Martin.
San Martin. Nearby is
It's
not the
near,
same.
but it's not, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
No,
when
but
you
it's,
say, uh-huh,
uh, no, it's hot.
good.
It's, very, no, not cold, but is, mm, I don't know. Uh, good, good, it's good weather.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe rainy, uh, in a few minutes because I watched the storm
Really?
coming. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay. But how do you know that there is a storm coming?
Sorry.
How do you know that it's going to rain?
Oh, because I watched the I don't remember relámpagos. How do you?
Ah, okay. Like the race,
Mhm.
the race, yes.
Yes,
Or
I watched
because you see the clouds.
the clouds. Maybe, but it's very dark. The I don't know.
Yeah, okay. That's why you know that it's going to rain.
Uh, Maybe because first it's hot and then uh, after the my memory is very bad. I don't remember the relámpagos. uh,
Race,
Rains in sky.
race.
Mhm.
Let's see, let me look for
I have more
images.
information in my brain. I don't know. I forget more words of maybe things I need to do.
Oh, why?
Maybe, but my work is my job is very mentally is very hard.
Oh, okay. How was your day then? Tell us about your day.
Yesterday I worked too late because I need to prepare uh three presentation for today.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and uh, I worked at 10 p.m. yesterday and arrived to my home maybe at 12 and a half. Maybe.
Okay. That's why
Check.
you
Yeah,
are saying that. Okay. Is lightning when we are talking about the thunders and lightning. Lightning is for the light that you see, and the thunder is the
lining,
noise.
line,
Lightning, light,
lining. Yeah,
lightning, lightning. Okay. Yes.
lining.
So Billy was working a lot. What about Nelson? How was your day?
But was busy. It was normal day, a lot of work, a lot of something to do, and send an email, check the email, teach topics, learn more because I learn and I teach. Yeah, uh,
Mhm.
something new this day. I came to my house, a lot of traffic. Yeah, I couldn't to stay at site because when I go out, I saw the raining is not comes yet, and I decided to came to the house a little bit quickly. Yeah, and now, but I'm doing to checking the last report. Yeah, and that's normal. I'm hungry a little bit, and it's hot. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. I need something to ice cream or soda or water. Water, it's better. I juice. I don't know. Yeah,
Some something cold.
something cold. Yeah, something cold. But nothing different. All the same. A lot of work. It's Thursday. What day is today? 25. Yeah, 25. I need to be a Friday. It's I don't know if we are going to take a class 1 May 1st.
Oh, it's true. I'm going to ask right away. Just let me find my. It's true. We needed to ask, right? That's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
question.
large weekend. We need to large weekend. I need to go to the beach.
Oh, really? You need
Yeah.
to take the vacations you didn't take during, I mean, because you during holidays. I mean, during
Holiday.
what Easter week.
We are going to go at the beach from Friday to Monday. Friday, Saturday,
Oh,
Sunday, and Monday. Needed.
okay. Okay, that is a good question. We are going to ask right away. In the meanwhile, we are going to continue talking. Thanks a lot for sharing your day, Nelson. Then we have Julio. How was your day? Julio, we cannot see you.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello,
How
hello.
was
Okay.
my day? Well, tired. Well, I wake up late, and I quickly ran to prepare for go to the job. Uh, Thanks to God. Well,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, I don't know. I can I could get to my job on time.
Okay.
And on my job, well, the activities, well, I'll try to advance and all the asignaciones. Well,
Tasks or assignations. Yes, the two of them.
assignations. Well, some conversation with my um, partners of work.
Mm-hmm.
And well, what else? What else? Well, now only review documents and preparing for auditorías.
Uh-huh. Auditors. Uh-huh.
Yes, GBT auditors,
Okay.
and well, reading a lot and preparing. That's my day.
So everybody, I mean, the auditors are going to be checking your work.
Excuse me?
The auditors are going to be checking your work.
Well, yes, and in this case, we as a quality department
Mhm.
auditoring the other departments
Ah, okay. Got it.
about some tools, in this case of OMS,
Okay.
the global benchmarking tool. And that is the reference in this case. In other situation is other tool, but in this case is the global benchmarking tool.
Okay. I think that when you said tool, you are referring to the metrics that
Yes,
you're identifying, the criteria, right?
yes.
Uh-huh. And do you remember how do you call that, guys? Do you remember William, Luis, Billy, Nelson? When we are having, no,
What?
we were talking about this in business, we want certain performance. to be presented or performed. I mean, we need certain performance in employees. That's what auditors are checking, right? They are revising that quality. That's what quality means. So, do you remember KP? Key
K-
performance indicators.
yeah, el KPI.
KPI,
KPI,
yes. And in call centers, they call it as metrics
yeah,
specifically,
metrics.
right?
Yeah,
What is the
quality
KPI?
control.
Yes, okay. So welcome, guys. And we have William also. And we are going to start with this phrase that it says, practice puts brains in your muscles. What do you understand? Practice puts brains in your muscles.
Practice puts
Brains
brains.
in your muscles. If we focus on on learning a language, which means speaking mostly, because that's the way that we prove that we can use the language in order to communicate. That's the objective, to communicate in that language. So we are going to be practicing the speaking, let's say. And in the speaking, we have the articulators or articulation system, right? Previous classes, we have been checking the articulation of the different sounds and how we need to put the tongue, for example. There is a sound that we don't have in Spanish, for example. So in that case, the tongue is a muscle, right?
Yeah.
The lips, when we move the lips, if we move them, it's because they are muscles. So it means that if we take that into account, practice puts brains in your muscles. What do you understand?
Well, for me, teacher, this
Mhm.
phrase is, well, I resume this phrase in when you, for example, learn something automatically. For example, to be juggles. And there
Okay.
is a moment when you practice. Well, how, in what moment I have to grow some ball, in what moment the other ball, in what moment the other ball. And there is a moment when you don't have to concentrate in that. Is the your body is the kinesthetic learn that in charge of that, and you learn to do or to make something automatically. That's mean.
Okay. Perfect. It's true, right? Yes, it's like if you do it automatically. When we speak, for example, in Spanish, or when we have a sound produced in Spanish, we just say it. We just use it. We move our lips. We move our tongue. We move our vocal cords, the ones that we have here on the throat. And when we need to erase that brain, I mean, that part in your muscle is when we are getting a new language. And that's why learning a new language is so important. And many psychologists said that in order to avoid brain damage or brain problems, it is important to learn a language. Not really for using it, but for, I mean, because you're going to work for using it, or because you're going to travel, but because your brain is going to get developed. So let's see. Well, it's not for me to be talking. So let's see, Nelson. What
I'm
do you
thinking,
understand?
teacher, what happens if the phrases changes? The brains puts the practice in your hands. For example, when I do something,
Mm-hmm.
something,
My hands.
yeah, when I do,
Mm-hmm.
when I want to repair something, and I
Uh-huh.
read, and I said, my brain said, okay, put the color red, cable black, and the tag. Okay, my brain told me what we are going to do, and I do it, and I do it. And maybe in some cases, the brain puts the practice in your hands. Yeah, not all, yeah, but the phrase is okay. But I'm no understand, or I don't have a example, a good example to do. But I was thinking about the change. Yeah, what happened when I think and when, for example, when I have to do or I want to do how do you say, teacher, rompecabezas?
No, puzzle.
Puzzle. I have to think what we're going to put and where we're going to put the piece.
Mhm.
And then I think is in this case the phrases can change. I don't
Okay.
know. That's my point, or I was thinking about
Okay. Yeah, that's another way
another.
to think about it. Because when you use the brain in order to practice,
Mhm.
you are using the brain, right? Because it's like
Yeah,
the first step. That's what I understood. The way you see
yeah.
it. You need your brain to give instructions to your
Mhm.
body, to your
Yes,
muscles, in order to practice. Then practice becomes something part of your body, and then you don't need to think about that anymore.
yes. Okay. Yeah, yes. This is not all that, but I think is both can be.
Yeah, of course. That's another way to see it. That is great. You are using similar, like a simile. You are using like a simile, right? Because it's similar. Then we have applauses for them, please. We forgot to give applauses. Julio, applauses, virtual applauses, and we have here the silent applauses. Then we have Billy. Oh, we have also Alex here. Welcome. So more opinions, more opinions. What do you understand? Practice puts brains in your muscles. If you have been listening to the examples they are given, that was perfect. You can create your own. Go ahead,
Maybe,
Billy.
maybe, okay. You need to be smart to apply your efforts to do something because you need maybe most effort to do this one, and but if you apply more effort, maybe you fail in this action, but you need maybe apply a little efforts to do something, and then uh, um, I don't know, be better. I don't know.
Okay. It's like, okay, I understand your point. You need less effort. You're checking out according to the effort that you need in order to work or to produce something, for example, right?
Hmm.
Yes. Okay, perfect. This is for him. Alex Aquino, go ahead, please.
Okay. Also, I think, or where this phrase makes me think that there is always one way to do it faster or better, and also this phrase reminds me to sports, right? We have muscular memory when we practice some sports, so the more we practice, the more we do the stuff in a better way. So uh, our body responds to this practice uh, more quickly and more efficiency. So that's the two things that I think on of this phrase.
Okay, excellent. Better couldn't have been said. If we think about this, what he's saying, let's apply it into English. The more we practice the speaking in English, because that's a language that we are practicing, the more fluent you will get because you are going to do it automatically. It's like Alex is saying, the instructions of the brain, and this is related to what Nelson was saying as well. The instructions of the brain are going to go directly to the muscle, in this case, the lips, tongue, the vocal cords, and all the larynx, all the organs that participate, the nose, because even for articulating sounds, we need the nose. Why? Because when have the air flow, we need air in order to produce the sound. So the more we do it, the fastest we will produce the sound. So our lips, our tongue is going to get used to that movement. And he was mentioning something that is applied to the bigger muscles, which are triceps and biceps and all of that. But also our lips and tongues are muscles. So they are going to have that memory, muscular memory. Yes. So let's listen to Jackie. Thank you very much. Go ahead, please. How do you feel today?
A little bit better, but not enough because I have to work and I sick all day. So it's difficult
Yeah.
to feel good or feel better because you speak, 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 speak. My work speak, so it's difficult. But I try to speak slow and try to feel positive.
Yeah, that is important for us. So thanks a lot for doing your best in order to be here and to be practicing. Because yes, it is true. I understand. I have been the same. And because we are using the vocal cords in our throats, in other words, that's why the process, the healing process is a little bit slower. But we are here, and positive attitude is the most important thing. Go ahead, Jackie.
Well, that practice for strength in your muscle is like my partner says that the muscle have memory and they remember all the moves that we have every single day. So, for example, if someone have an accident, so they have a therapy, they remember the sensation to, for example, walk, to talk to someone, so they it's like muscle have a brain, but it's because remember that when you put in practice and they move on the body. So it's the same for English, it's the same for everything that we have to learn because we practice and the muscles remember that you move or you remember that you move something in your body. So it's the same for practice. I think practice is the best thing to remember something or listen.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Applause for her, please. Actually, just imagine if you drive, when you drive and you are talking to the person that is next to you, you are doing it just because you have practiced so much that you do it automatically, right? You are doing it automatically. Of course, the brain doesn't concentrate that 100%. That's why it's like when you are talking by phone. That's why it is being prohibited, right? But yes, we do it automatically. So then we have, who else is here? Marcela, what can you tell us about this? Welcome.
Wow. Hello, good evening. Practice puts brains in your muscles. Yes. When you practice a lot I don't know, in every situation uh, you can be adapt to any situation and like you when you are driving in the beginning you can talk with anybody, even if you are talking and see the picture in front of you. But then in my case, I always think in a certain ways in my driving that I am not too not too conscious about what I'm doing with my feet and my hands and my eyes, because you have to see the every mirror in your car every maybe 1 minute, but just a few seconds, because if you are spending too much time seeing the mirrors you can lose, I don't know, I don't know, other things. But your brain is too, I don't know, it's like the universe.
Yeah.
Is like something that is expendable, and if you can learn so much about any topic that you want to learn, or do you want to know about it or talk with somebody, your brain is going to remember always and forever. So that is the key. Practice and practice and practice. You know what, I am when I was studying salsa, it was a little bit difficult because in salsa you have to keep the balance and your feet with the rhythm, but your arms needs to be the style in the dancing floor. So it's difficult. When you try to focus on your feet, you lose your arms and your face gets like an angry or worried. So it's when you practice, then you can at least do some kind of movements, difference, but it takes years. The dancers takes too many years to do their performance the best way that it can be. So they are practicing every day, all day, and that's for all things, I think.
Okay, excellent. Applause for her. Best example, right? Actually, because it is very visible, let's say, the muscles that we use in dancing. And that
Yes,
is a good yes. But
they call
also,
dissociation, something like that, because you can do something with your arms and you keep the balance and the rhythm with your feet. With your feet are 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 7, 8, but your mind is thinking about the rhythm, and you have to move your arms and your face and your hair.
mhm.
Is a complete exercise, but it's years and years in practicing.
Okay, thank you very much. Applause for her. Actually, it is kinesthetic exercise, right? Yes, it's about kinesthetic. Okay, guys, now we are going to check something before we get to the game. This is not new. We have been talking about this, but it is important to recall it. That is the coordinating conjunctions. There are 7. And most of the times we remember with this acronym, which is FAMBOYS. And we have it very clear in here, which is F for as for, A as N as nor, B but, or O or, Y yet, and S so. These are connectors. If we talk about conjunctions, these are connectors. It's the same, just that it's like a nickname. We call them connectors because we don't need to know this in order to speak. I mean, we don't need to know the name, but we need to know that they exist in order to use them, right? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So we are going to start using it in the game that we are going to play right now. Start live. Uh-oh. Here, okay. And we are going to see. Just remember how we use it. When we are adding information, we use and. When we are saying a contrast, like I don't like this, but I like this, we use but. When we are giving a result, so what is the result? And then when we are giving options, we say, do you like pizza or? So we are giving options. Yet is something negative. I haven't done it yet. So can you see the link, guys? Let's get inside.
Okay. Yes. Sure.
Yes, perfect. If you haven't seen it, you can say, I haven't seen it yet. And we are using the coordinate conjunction, the connector, let's say.
Or maybe you can
So,
say no yet, just no yet.
yes,
Can I?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes, that's perfect. Alex, Grecia, we have Luis, Nelson, Jackie, more people, please. More people so we can start the game. Perfect, Billy, Rosalba. Rosalba is here. Welcome.
Yes, thank
There we go. Marcela, Alex, Alex Jimenez, Mr. Jimenez. More. Okay, let's start. No. In this case, it's this. Going backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
want to participate.
Okay, right now.
Can you send me the link?
There is a link. Can you see it?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Welcome. Okay, we're about to finish. Let's see. Who are the winners? One more second. And let's see who are the winners. There are 3 winners. Let's end the game. No. Yes. Okay, let's see. 3 winners. Number 1, Julio Merino. Wow. The second one, Luis Mendez. And Alex Jimenez. Amazing, Alex. So applauses for them, please. Virtual applauses and also, silent applauses, right? So, let's continue. Let's go back here. And let's think a little bit about what we have been saying now, well, since the previous module, previous classes that we were talking about, the learning process. We were saying that there are certain statistics that people have gathered based on research. The 5%, according to this study says that we keep in mind everything that we see, but 5% is going to be when we listened someone talking, like you are listening to me. That's why most of the times you don't listen to me, right? I speak to you, I talk to you just for short periods of time, because when you are listening to a conference, which means lecture, we are going to remember 5%. What about reading? When you are reading, 10%. That's why you were reading. Do you remember you were reading about in the book, the story? But then when we get audiovisual information, like the videos that we most of the times have, we remember 20%. But then we need to discuss in the group, and then we get to the 50%. Then you're going to practice by doing like when we do it in the games, you get 75%. That is for the grammar that we study through games. But then when you explain to others, when you teach others, that's what means explain. You tell something the way you have understood. Actually, Nelson was telling us about that he learns something first and then he needs to explain how to use that program or that system. So it's what he's doing. That's why he remembers everything about his job. Of course, right? We're talking about his job. So that's what we do here. You talk in the groups and breakout rooms, and then you come here, you first read or you have the audiovisual, then you have the discussion. Sometimes we omit the demonstration because you don't, depending on the topic, we don't have demonstration, but we jumped into the discussion because you share opinions and then you get out into a conclusion. Then you come here and explain what you have understood. So do you have any questions about this? No? Okay, I need a
Yes.
volunteer. Okay, question, go ahead.
Well, in my case, I feel nervous when we are practicing because I'm not sure if I have a mistake or with my construction could be wrong. So, in this is one thing that can stop that I continue talking with others, or I feel nervous in other time because I'm not sure and how I can feel more confidence or how can be sure, or I don't know if you could help us in that moment that you say or you look that we have a bigger mistake.
Okay, good point. Talking about this is confidence. So you're saying is confidence is when you feel that you are sure about it. Also, that term, we have the term confidence. We have another term that is related, that is grammar or looking for structure. That means that I'm sure that I'm saying the correct sentence or expression because I'm using the correct grammar, right? And then if I'm sure about it, then I feel that I'm speaking properly. But when we communicate ideas, sometimes we compare to Spanish, we do it and we say it without really being conscious that we are using the right grammar. It's just a matter of communication. People understand what you are saying and then you answer back, or you understand what they are saying and you answer back. And then the communications or the conversation flows. The way that we are studying the grammar, it is in context, which means that you have a game and that you know by logic that doesn't make sense or is not correct because it doesn't sound logic, or because you see that that the game is giving you the answer. That's another option. But in this case, when we have this way of learning, since we have the audio visual, because we are reading and we are checking visually, we are practicing, okay, we are discussing, we are practicing by doing through the games, you are getting that grammar, and unconsciously you are speaking properly. That's why when I get inside the channels, I just listen to you and I don't say anything. I don't correct or stop you. Because when we stop someone, well, that's another way, that is one methodology, right? Strategy. When I stop you, then you start like, oh, I said it incorrectly. And then you start thinking about the mistake. And then you forget about the ideas that you had. But when you start just feeling free to speak, little by little, of course, having the input, because when you go to the channels, you have output, you are producing. And when we receive the reading, the videos, this is input. When you receive the input, even I have told you that we can have the tools here, the Microsoft Aids, right? When we can read and listen at the same time while we are checking or reading, I mean, visually, the story. So in that case, it's input as well, and we are checking the right structure, just that we are not getting in deep into it and saying, oh, this is simple present, this is simple past, this is present perfect, this is the names and the rules. And I was telling you this at the beginning that sometimes, I mean, there are different strategies, but sometimes when we speak, we don't think about it. We use it, but we don't think about, I'm going to use in Spanish, es pretérito imperfecto del modo indicativo, right? If you have been studying recently with your kids and they have been studying language and in Spanish, you know, and you have been checking that information, that it sounds complex. But let's see, do you remember that tense, guys, in Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, Crisia, you love grammar, I see. Pretérito imperfecto del modo indicativo. Yes, you remember?
I think is yo he estado estudiando toda la semana.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, you love grammar, I can see. I can give you more grammar about English if that is the way that you feel that you are going to be more confident. No problem. Yeah. You love grammar. Yeah, because you remember
Well,
even in Spanish. That's
but
amazing. Yeah.
teacher, so when you put the games and we complete the sentences in this game, so we are practicing, and after that we reproduce when we are talking. Let's say
Yes.
that we don't have a bigger problem how I solve,
No,
just
no,
a
no,
little.
no. Yes, it's like when this is, okay, this system that we are applying here, it is when you go to United States and you learn in the street, that's what we call it. You learn through the context that you're working there. So if you even you can talk to people who have been there and they come back, or to just have the experience to talk to them, even though they are there, they're still there. And you ask them, do you speak English? Yes, they do. I do. They can say, and then they are going to speak to you in English, but they communicate, but they don't know how they learned that. I mean, they just reproduce what they have been involved. What is important is to be practiced. That's what important. We were saying this at the beginning. I don't know if you could see it. Oh, it's not here. Let me check. It's here. Practice puts brains in your muscles. When we practice, it's like we do it. It's like that's why it is important. Values at home. It is that's another topic, right? But it's important to talk about that values at home. It practicing, not telling them, but practicing. Because if you tell, okay, we are going to practice respect, let's practice respect today. But if you start practicing, that's just respecting everybody without saying this is respect, kids are going to be respectful. Talking about this is very simple, right? What we're saying, but it's related. When we, and it's can be a similar, right? That's something that is similar, that when we practice little by little, suddenly it's like kids. they just, you don't say little kids, I want to eat pupusas, just an example, you're going to get hungry, but they say, I pupusas or pupusas. They just say pupusas at the beginning and you say, oh, the little kid wants to eat pupusas. You are the one interpreting. Yeah, so that's what happens. It's the same in English, right? It's just that if you get that specific practice that you need, that is reading, the 4 skills, guys. Reading, listening, speaking, and writing that you have been doing individually out of the class, because writing takes a little bit more time. So in order to take advantage of the time that we have here every day in this program, that's what I love it, because it's for you guys to see amazing changes. It is to be here every single day, because it's 2 hours every day. It's like when you go to the gym. If you love going to the gym, you know that if you go to the gym and you practice your muscles every day, is not the same. I mean, it's going to be more effective than if you just go one day. So it's similar. We're talking about the practice. Okay, so yes, William, go ahead.
I
William?
think it's
No,
not the same, teacher.
it's not the
For
same.
me, for me, it's easy to go to the gym and be disciplined. But to be honest, I've I've learned something about this. I mean, English. For
Mhm.
me, it's a little difficult because at the first time, I just was studying you because just I wanted to learn English. But also, I discovered that I wanted to get a job. That's why I need to push now from learning, and that's why I need to learn English. I think and I know that that's why I am a little confident now. To be honest, at the beginning with this program, I was a little shy because I was just saying I will make a wrong, and now I think I'm improving a little bit.
Excellent. I'm really happy. And he mentioned something very important. Yeah, what's it? Excellent. So, and he mentioned something important, because the program can be here. I mean, we can have one strategy and it's in general, right? But it depends on every single person. It's going to make a huge difference. And he mentioned something important. It depends on the objective of every person. It's like going to the gym. I always compare, he says, I don't agree. But it's about, if I go to the gym, but I just go and talk to everybody and I just go to socialize, and that is not for speaking, right? It's for working my muscle. So at the end, or I don't do exactly what the trainer has told me, I'm not going to. But if I have the objective and I want to be fit, so I'm going to work hard. The same as you were saying, that now you have the commitment because you have the usage of this, right? Now you want to use English in order to work or to improve something, to change something in your life. So that is important. Thanks a lot for sharing that. And actually, also I remember Crisia. Crisia was asking me about a tool. Let me see if I can open it right now. And I just want to make sure that you remember that we were talking about how to make sure that you have something correctly said, let's say. So one of these tools that we can use is here, Word document. When you are speaking, is when you want, let's say that I want to create a story. Let me see here. I think it's here. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Yes.
so we are going to check here. Oh, here it is. It says dictate, right? Just that is in Spanish. Right now, this program is in Spanish. So it says dictate here. I say dictate, okay. It's for dictation. So it is going to be, look, writing everything that I say. And let's say, okay, that I said it incorrectly, or it was listened or produced incorrectly. So the machine here, the program, is going to be typing what is the correct form to say it. Can you see that it's automatically writing? So it means that you can even get ready.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yes, if you don't want to write.
Magic.
Yeah, it's like
You are a
just,
wizard.
just the interjections. Look. Yeah, it says. Even corrections, you have them here. It's just to get ready to produce. And like you said, to feel confident. You see, there was the correction. I repeated confident. I said confident. I didn't finish confident at the beginning, and then the system, yes, created confident, because after feel, we need an adjective. So confident is the adjective. So the system is going to, I mean, this program, Word document, which is from Microsoft, is going to give you the correct structure in the sentences that you are saying if you're just dictating here. Yes, and that is a way that you can prove that you are saying it correctly. And also you can read it after that. Look, here is telling me that there is a problem. Also, when there is a repeated, because it's just interesting, it's telling me that it must be something else because it's repeated. It doesn't make sense to have something repeated, right? So after you finish, you can even have the corrections. You do it clicking on the things that they must or they might much. What is the correction? Because this, remember that we were just speaking. That's why. Okay, so this is a way to do it. This is one. The other one is when you get inside Google, you can just click on here and just, that's what kids do, guys. Guys, you see, little kids are learning, and that's why we call them, what is the generation, guys? The ones that have been born with technology,
Z.
the latest, the crystals, and they are the alpha.
Ooh,
It
Alpha.
is the
man.
20th,
20.
I think.
I am Alpha.
Yes, Alpha.
For
Yes,
Alpha man.
Gen Alpha. Yes, Gen Alpha. Because when you ask them to look for something and they don't know what is it, they just click on here and they ask, what is this? So if I'm saying it correctly, you can just find it here. Find information here. So
Este es el mapa de Ayutuxtepeque.
Oh my God. Okay. I didn't ask for that, but you see.
Can you say
You're
you
going
took the Becky in English?
No, because it's a proper noun.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see what the answer, that is the answering the question that some days ago, some classes ago, Christian was asking, okay? That we can use technology in order to get adapted as little kids have done it so far, that to get information to make sure that you are pronouncing it correctly, because if you don't pronounce it correctly, it's going to give you another answer here. Okay, if I say, for example, treasure, no, I didn't open treasure. So it says that I said Jason, and it's not true,
Según
right?
Wikipedia, Jasón es un héroe de la mitología griega.
So what does it mean? That you make sure that you have pronounced it correctly based on the accent that is giving you. Then that's another way to do it. Now let's continue with the next activity. Let's go to the book. Do you have questions about this, guys? Later on, we are going to talk about the different ways the learning pyramid. Now let's start working. Do you have questions? More questions? No?
No
Your
more questions.
neighbors. No.
You discovered my secret. Yeah, the way I live, yeah, because it was said in the map. Now it says here that we need to go online. Actually, we were not that far. We were talking about technology and internet, and we are going to look for liability. It says key terms related to the gen. So liability, common ground, compromise, advocacy. So that's what we are going to. We have been talking about generation, guys. The 5 generation. This is just to be continued from yesterday. And yesterday we were checking in the video that we need to keep that gap like almost inexistent, right? We need to get adapted with all generations so we can bring the best out of that union, let's say. Means that all working together is better and we're going to get better tools. So let's start looking for these key terms. Liability, number 1, and we're going to give main ideas here in the spaces that the book is giving us. We are going to have the timer here to keep track on time so you can know that we are keeping track on time as well. Online timer for teachers here. And let's use the egg timer or sand timer. We are going to have 3 minutes. Is that okay, guys?
Yes, sí.
Okay, and then we are going to use them together in the group, in the channels, in the breakout rooms. Let's start working individually right now, please. Do you have all the information? Have you found all the words in internet?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. These are the words that we are looking for. So we need to find main ideas, right? These are key terms for related to the 5 generations. Then here, we were talking about fanboys. So we already have been practicing with the game. Now, I need a volunteer for reading, please. Volunteer for reading.
Me, teacher.
Go ahead.
Uh, how to avoid run-on sentence. Part 1. Look at the examples in the box, then complete the exercise below. Use a comma before coordinating conjunctions. Fanboys. That joins two independent clauses. Examples. The gap generation put many employees at a disadvantage, but newer and experienced employees are supporting each other. When two independent clauses are put together without a comma, plus a coordinating conjunction, the result is a run-on sentence. Run-on sentence cause our message to be difficult to read by our audience. Run-on, I read there's research about the generation gap. Is very interesting. Correction, I read the research about the generation gap, and it's very interesting. Just
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Now, in other words, when we just connect two ideas without any comma, without any punctuation, we call it run-on sentence. That's the name of the grammar term. But in other words, like in a common way of speaking, when we don't use punctuation, we just start writing, giving ideas all mixed up. That's what it is. And that is not correct, or is an error, because the ideas are not really clear. So in order to correct them, we need to use a comma and a fanboy. That's it, a connector. But it is important to recall that it's a fanboy because these connectors, they use commas. Not all of them, but they use commas, depending on the position they are having. When they are joining two ideas, then we need to use a comma before. And then we have this paragraph. Let's say that is one paragraph. Oh, I have another thing. One sentence starts with capital letter and finishes with a period. So how many sentences do you see here? A volunteer? A sentence starts with a capital letter and finishes with a period. Capital letter is this one, right?
Yeah, one sentence
And this is the period.
is one
How
sentence.
many sentences do you see here?
Two.
One,
Two.
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 Two,
Okay,
right?
yeah, I see.
Yes, because we have this one here.
Uh,
I didn't want to point in there because I was going to give you the answer, right? Okay, that's what I pointed out here. So we have the other one that is one sentence isolated. And then how many sentences do you have here?
Three.
three,
Three.
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 Okay. How many sentences do you have here?
Two.
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 And it's so so long. So I think we need to check, revise, and that's what we have here. We are going to work on the first one, and the rest is going to be for homework, okay? Remember that I'm going to ask you for these assignments So it's better if we do it right in time. And if you couldn't do the other ones from the previous unit, but you can do it. We still have some time because at the end we are going to use them. These are your scores for the module, right? So, and we have been working on exercises like this in each unit. So for unit 4, this is the one. According to this, we need to start reading this and we need to check these ideas. Where do we need to write a comma? And use a fanboy or a connector, but using these connectors. So I need a volunteer for reading these 2 sentences, that's all we're saying, and see where should be the correction. But we are going to use 2 volunteers, one for reading and the others, while the others are going to be identifying the correction that it should be done in here. So a volunteer for reading. Guys.
Can I?
I
Yeah, go
hear
ahead,
you,
please.
but it's I for me it's difficult to use the
I'll
fanboy.
try.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
So
in the first
mhm.
paragraph.
Okay, for
For
reading,
me,
who's gonna be reading?
okay.
Okay, go ahead, Julio.
One of the most common management challenges involves how to effectively manage all kinds of different people. But for me, it's not necessary correction for me. And the next, some managers, comma, and employees in general, comma, don't like the behavior of younger generation leaders. I don't know here. Generation leaders must learn to promote a good environment among their employees. Well, I only, I think we can put a comma in the second sentence. Some managers, comma, and employees in general, comma, don't like the behavior, etc. For me, but
Mhm. Okay, another option. Thanks a lot for your answer. I heard another voice that said I wanted to try.
I will read.
Okay,
I will
go
try
ahead.
to read. Okay, this one of the most common management challenges involves how to effectively manage all kinds of different people. Some managers and employees in general don't like the behavior of younger generation leaders. Must learn to promote a good environment among their employees. Okay. Mm, no.
Well, fanboy we use to connect two simple sentences. It's
Mhm.
okay. Okay, so in this case, we can submit or remove the period and use a fanboy. It's
Maybe
very
maybe when they
obvious.
say
Could
of
be
different
and.
people and some managers,
And some
Okay.
managers and
but
Okay.
employees.
we have to end and some
No,
manager
no, no
and
problem.
no problem. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no problem.
Just
Why?
one.
Because and the Chrisia was giving the answer. And is going to connect if we delete the period, then
Between
that,
people and some.
in that case, in here, I'm going to mark here.
Yes.
And then we are using and, we need a comma here, lowercase, no capital letter, lowercase, and
Some managers
lowercase
and
some
employees.
for some. And we are going to be connecting to
simple phrase.
2 ideas. Yes, 2
Two
ideas. Okay,
ideas.
no problem. But
The
then,
other one could be in leaders,
uh-huh,
between leaders and months. So because the
yes.
manager don't like the behavior, but they must learn how to promote a good environment. Could be
Okay, perfect.
but
Yes. Okay, because it's a
between
contrast.
leaders and must.
But
Mhm.
in that case, we also add other subject, other pronoun, because Marcela said, but they must learn.
But, and what is the subject?
Or with they. But
What is
it
the
could
subject?
They,
some managers and employees.
Leaders.
leader,
Yes.
Leaders is the
but
subject. They,
Ah, yes.
but it's leaders. We have it here.
Entonces between generations and leaders.
And leaders.
Uh-huh. Of younger generation, but leaders must learn to promote a good environment among their employees.
Yes.
some
That's
other-
it. Yes, that's what it is. And how do you know that is a but? Because we have been talking about this topic, and we know that, I mean, gathering or making generations work together is essential at a company. First. Second, we are having a contrast in general. Don't like behavior is negative, right? And then we have a contrast with leaders must learn. This is
So,
positive.
so leaders must learn to promote a good environment.
If we start, it
But
depends on the,
so it's for results.
Uh-huh.
And this is
a contrast.
a contrast. So they
Mhm.
don't like behavior, but they need to learn how to be in a good environment.
Even though they don't like it. That's
So
why
you
it's a
don't
but.
like it, but you have to do it.
Yes, I have to deal with as a manager, as the boss. So in this case, it's a contrast because we see the negative here and we see the positive here. We need a but here. That is a contrast. There are many ways to correct depending of the way that you want to express your ideas. As long as you are using, as long as you are using these connectors, that is fine. And you give more information. Remember that when we are writing, we are the creators of the document. We are the authors of those ideas. It depends on the message that we want to transmit. But what we need to keep in mind is that we need to use punctuation. Yes. We need to use connectors. So in here, we said that correction is people, comma, and some managers and employees in general don't like the behavior of young generations. Or we keep it like this and we say, the main idea is this one. And then this, like Julio was saying this, right? He said that we are going to keep this sentence like this, not change or no changes. And then we are going to start with some managers and employees in general don't like the behavior of young generations, comma, but leaders must learn to promote a good environment. Why I cannot use and? Because I have a negative. So I have a contrast. We are going to continue working with the rest of the sentences here that we have here in the exercise, but out of the class, okay? After the class finishes or tomorrow when you get some time, you are going to work on this. Is that okay, guys?
Got it.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, now we are going to continue with the next video that it says how to get along with boomers, Gen X, and millennials. Let me see. No, this is the one that we saw yesterday. It's the other one. 5 steps to, yeah, this is the same. Now we are going to talk about. Use this. I'm going to check the videos right now. We are going to talk about this. How can we relate? What is the liability for each generation? What is the common ground for each generation? What is the compromise? That's what we were checking yesterday in the videos, right? For example, you were saying that if we're talking about baby boomers, they are going to have different, you were saying values, culture, everything is affecting the different experiences that they have experienced or that they have faced depending on the event that happened in that period of time. Like in our case, we were talking about that. Actually, I'm talking about the period that we faced, that it was the 2020, that it was the pandemic situation, and the new generations that are coming after this. The new, those changes that they are going to face, people or kids, children who were around 10 years old and suddenly they went to school 4 years after to socialize. That is going to bring a huge change in personality, in values. If you listen to people in the school saying how they behave, you will see. And if that's why we have this opportunity right now, we're going to get to the breakout rooms and we are going to say, how can we use this? How is this related? Liability, common ground, compromise, advocacy in each or connecting all the generations. Say that again. Questions? Do you have questions? No? Okay. So let's go to the breakout rooms to talk about this, and you're going to tell us how you can see the relationship that they share, let's say, and what are the differences using these terms. Let's get inside the breakout rooms. And let's see, we're going to get here. Okay, let's see you there. So, welcome again. We are waiting for everybody here. So, what is the conclusion that you have? Group number 1, Alex Aquino, Luis Ernesto, Rosalba, and William.
I don't know, Alex Aquino.
Okay.
No?
Okay, let's do one. Aquí. Ah, cómo no.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So about the four words, right? Related
Yes.
to the generations. In the case of liability, we talk about that being responsible doesn't depend of a generation. It depends more the habits that you were educated at home and the compromise that you have of doing what you have to do in your daily basis or in your job. And for the common ground opinion, well, this is we can put an example here in the class, right? So we have different opinions of different aspects in life or topics in the class, but at the end of the day, we share our opinions. And also we discuss them and respect what or the other partner says. So at the end of the day, you as a teacher end with the conclusion of the topic or something related to, for example, the phrase that we started at the beginning of the class.
Okay, excellent. Applauses for that group. Now we have group number 2 because we have the other activity. Group number 2, Billy, Jackie, Julio, and Crisia. Who's going to be saying the conclusions that you have?
Julius wants to talk.
All teacher says she want to hear someone else now.
The two of you, okay? What the first part and then the
Well,
second.
well, one of the conclusion is that, for example, the concept of common ground, and some generations even don't pay attention to you. They grew with screens, tablets, phones, TV, and it doesn't matter if what is your opinion. They only focus on their own things. They're the center of the universe. I don't know. And well, this aspect, this characteristic is most for us in the last generations. Well, but like Alex said, it's a characteristic also of the education and family. It's very important when we are kids, we imitated our parents, and well, it depends of that also as well. Well, Crisia, continue, please.
Okay.
We are saying that maybe this kind of words are related. And for example, we are talking about the liability is a sign with compromise, but in some generation you can see like remarkable because they pass a period of time that was strong for them, and so they learn that they have to do something because if they don't do this, they die. So, for example, the baby boomers have to be more responsible than us because they was watching the time, they respect the schedules because they grow in military ages. So they are more strictless than us. And for the common ground, it's the same that the generation X, they grow that in a period that the TV has just one channel and you have to see the same thing that everybody. And nowadays, the crystal generation, it doesn't matter if you want to see a movie or a reality show because they have the cell phone and they, it doesn't matter what you want. I have my cell phone, I have my tablet, and I look what I want. So, and this is like a break in generation because you don't have, you lost the connection and the interaction. Maybe this is part of the problem with the technology that we can do something for just for us, like an individual. And after that, the technology passing these advantages, we have to do the same thing because this is the common and we don't have enough to do or anything to do. Just that.
Okay, applause for them. It has becomes a custom, right? A custom, like normal. Yeah, let's call it normal, even though culture is what makes or says that something is normal or not. Okay, we have group number 3, Ana Marcela, Gerardo Daniel, Nelson, and Ronald. Are you ready?
Almost.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we was
Okay.
talking about that point, Ana Marcela and our classmate, about liability. We decided the liability is like the boomers because they are a responsibility. Christias was talking about that, yeah. They respect, they have a responsibility different because they grew up in different time. They always try to respect the schedule, like Acrisia said. And liability is the topic about the boomers. Anna?
Okay. And then common ground could be for millennials because that they are adapters. So they maybe they don't agree with some topics, some processes or some ways that the boomers do the processes, or I don't know, the next generation, but we can be adapters and try to work as a team most of the time, because there are some people that they can't work in team, but it's different. But we classify millennials like common ground with a little bit for liability from boomers. Could be compromise also. I think all the topics are related in every generation, but some of them are the strongest in every generation. For example, compromise and common ground, or maybe liability and compromise could be for boomers, because they are structured people. But we can be a little bit adapters. For millennials, we can be with common ground and compromise. But for example, advocacy, maybe it's for the next generation, because millennials and boomers, sometimes they never think about environment and causes and things that are important, but we were working about, we didn't know about the damage in the environment or the ways to do better things in the social um, environment. So it it depends on the focus in every generation, we think.
Okay, excellent. Applauses for them, please, everybody. Now, we are going to continue with the next activity. We are going to watch a video. One of you is going to be playing the video in the group. And then you are going to discuss the main points of the video and what you understood. I'm going to get inside channel and every group. When I get inside, you are going to tell me what you have understood as a conclusion. We are going to share inside the group, okay? So let's start working. I'm going to send you the link and you're going to step number 1, play the video. Step number 2, get main ideas. Step number 3, get the conclusion, what you understood of the video. So 3 steps, okay? And then you're going to present. I'm going to get there and you're going to present what you're going to tell me what you understood. Let's start. Let's open the channels or the breakout rooms. And let's see here.
Share the link.
Yes, I'm going to. It's true. I didn't. Let me see here. Copying and pasting. Let me know if you can see the link, please. Now, can you see it? Yes. Okay, click on the link, please. And it start getting a little bit more information. And
Where
get
is the
main
link?
ideas.
Mhm.
It's on the chat.
On the
Get
chat
main
Zoom.
idea.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Get main ideas. Explain what you understood. And present. Let's start working there.
What happened? We are in another group. Okay.
No, in the main
Okay.
room, I
Okay.
think. So the teacher is in another group.
The teacher is here. We are 3.
Yes, just let me plug in the computer, please. Everybody's
No
going to
problem.
start coming here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Baby, the problem was where we click and go back. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Rosalba.
Hello, Marce.
Okay, welcome. We are going to continue with the next activity. Oh, well, let's continue with the third group. I didn't listen to the third group. Sharing ideas. Let's see. Because of the time, I needed everybody to be here. Let's see. The third group is Billy. No. Oh, so I could be in the three groups. Okay, Alex, go ahead. I think Alex and Williams was the one that I didn't listen. No, you were talking with Rosalba as well. It
Yes.
was Billy's. Billy, Jackie, Crisia, and Julio. That was the group that I couldn't listen everything because it was just the beginning. What is the conclusion that you have? Billy, Jackie, Julio, and Crisia.
Well, Christian or me?
No, Julius.
The two of you, excellent.
Well, the principle, well, there is a lot of ideas, but the principal conclusion is we have to respect the golden rule that don't do to others what you don't like to be done to you. This means that the communication is the most important, and sharing different ideas, the different generations. Each generation can share innovation, creativity to achieve the different goals. And all of this for work like a real team. All generations needs or merecen respect,
Deserve.
deserve respect,
Deserve. Okay.
and they have the different ways to communicate. We also we're talking about the now the the youngers how share the different ideas about numbers instead of words or letters. The forms, the ways of communication change, and we had to adapt, or not necessarily for this example, but to don't be desagradables o toscos or
Rude.
Rude.
rudes
Yes.
with the others, with others.
And also we're talking about business. And when you are talking about business, it does you don't have or you dissolve the gap of the generations because you focus in the business in what you want. So you learn how to communicate with each generation, and but you follow simple rules that be a good manners. If you have a good manner, you can communicate with each one, and you can get for them whatever you want.
Okay, excellent. Actually, what she's saying, in other words, is that if you work together, if we work together in a company, we need to work for the same goals, the same objectives. organizational objectives, right? That is, of course, get more clients, get more production, get more sales, depending on the department that we are working. But at the end is to get more incomes as a company, because that is the objective of the company. Okay, so we are going to have this as homework activity as well. It is similar to the one that we were using here. Let me go back here. What was it? Where was it? These are the sentences, right? So we are going to use the conjunctions or the connectors in here in these sentences as well. So we are going to practice a little bit more tomorrow in the class to make sure that you have these sentences correctly done. Do you have questions about everything that we have done? Any question?
Number the page
No?
is 31. Okay.
Yeah, oh yes,
Page
it's
number
going to be,
31.
yes, the
Okay.
pages. 31 is the other one, and the first one is 29.
29. Yeah.
29, yes. Remember to keep it in one document, so when I tell you to send it to me, you're going to upload it. And if you haven't worked on them, I mean, we have been assigning for each unit. If you haven't done it, you can still do it, right? Because we still have time. So thanks a lot for being here, guys, and let's see you tomorrow to
See
continue the
you
practice.
tomorrow. Okay. Bye. See
Have a
you.
great night. Bye-bye.
God
Thank
bless
Bye,
you.
you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good
Bye.
night. See you.
Hey,
See you tomorrow.
good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams. Thank you. Bye-bye.